want you to think about like what I'm kind of having a reflective moment right now. So I'm just kind of thinking about stuff and think about like what people have lost over the course of this last year, especially maybe a year and a half or so. Kind of a slow trickle beginning back in 2016 and now up until now. Then up until now, and like exponential growth of that. They lost in friendships, they lost in relationships, which you lost in sleep and all that stuff. This has been a culmination of a whole lot of things politically that have impacted everybody's life in a way that I don't think anybody really was kind of, could have foreseen. And despite everything, you and I, we kind of walked this out one way or the other. Just being myself, I just kind of reflect on even what I've been through, that I didn't know that I would lose friends. I didn't know that I literally had no clue that I would lose friends for having a different political opinion. I didn't know that I would be censored on a social media platform. I didn't know that there would be individuals who I've known for years who would straight up say some hella racist stuff to me. I didn't know that I would be labeled as not black for having a difference of opinion. But then that's what my experience was. That's maybe some of your experience as well. But that's not the full experience. I mean, there were some people from the other side who just, kind of rode the wave and weren't, they poked fun and stuff, but they weren't jerks about it. But then again, there might have been Trump supporters that did that as well too. But see, there's a difference there to me when I look at this, right? Like take for instance, tomorrow, they're boarding up different cities, different portions of cities and stuff. It's not going to be Trump people that are going to be causing riots. I mean, I'm just being real with you, and you know that. They're not going to be out there throwing a fit if they don't get what they want. They're not going to be doing that. There might be some legal stuff going on that folks would take legal means into action. But they're not going to be out there tearing stuff up, burning stuff, and destroying stuff. That's just not what a Trump supporter does. They're also not going to be out there trying to dox people and get them hurt or fired from a job. That's not what somebody does that's on this side. I'm just being real with you. That's not what I've seen. Maybe you've encountered that, and maybe you can correct me on that, but I don't see that from Trump supporters. I also don't see Trump supporters like literally trying to beat people up for wearing a t-shirt or a hat. I mean, there's one lady I talked to at Costco that said that this woman basically accosted her for having a t-shirt that said, "I don't accept the premise of white privilege." It's just a white lady, and this other white lady came up to her and tried to freaking tear her shirt off. I'm like, what? And it's like, you wear something that says you support Trump, and you might literally get accosted. You might get beat up. Mob rule and stuff. I just don't, I don't see that coming from the other side, or the side that I'm on. And maybe you see that stuff differently. Maybe you see it as a fight for justice or a fight to do something for society and stuff. And you believe that this dude's a racist and all that stuff. And his supporters are all, backwoods hicks and stuff and are white supremacists. And to me, it still doesn't make no sense because hell of people who aren't white who support the president. It just doesn't make any sense. But just back to this whole thing about what people have lost. You lose stuff in a fire. You lose stuff in conflicts. You do lose things, and sometimes you gain stuff as well. People that have, like me, I lost some friends, and that really sucks. But I gained a whole crap load of other ones. And I posted something on Saturday. It didn't go live till Sunday on the walk away, and I'm like, what's going on with my Facebook? And all of a sudden these people who are just like saying, just giving me encouragement and stuff, and it's like, that's really cool. And there's other people out there who I've met. I met some really freaking great people. I mean, even like Ann Livingston, like Phone Chris. I met these people because of this campaign, and I've also met some other people from other campaigns as well. And it's really cool. We just gotta think about this though, okay? Like no matter what happens tomorrow, I'm hoping for a certain outcome. I'm hoping for Trump to actually win. I'm hoping for them to keep the Senate and stuff. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for California actually to have a bigger showing of Republicans. But I'm also hoping that you actually, as a Republican, go out and state your case and vote. I would strongly recommend you go into the county building. That's what I'm just saying to you, because They were having issues on Saturday and Sunday with some of these polling locations. So just kind of keep that in mind. So you can turn your ballot in. I would definitely go to the county and just do it. Just take the ride up and get it done. If you can do it today, get it done today. But I just want you to think about this and what we've all just collectively have been through, the emotions, the heightened awareness, the conflicts and all that stuff. We've all been through something as a society that's been pretty deep. And unfortunately, it's left casualties out there. I mean, really, people have died. People have actually died. And in that, it doesn't matter really what side you're on, it's loss of life. So that's hard. But the precious thing about it, though, is that you still do have a voice. You still have a way to speak and say, stake your claim in what you believe. And that's what the American experience really is. And I believe that there's people out there that want to take that away from you and me. That really do believe that they should have a say in what I do, what I eat, what I say, what I think. And they've actually shown that. And I'm not going for that side. So look, you have your own choice in this. I've been basically advocating for one side, knowing that the individual that I'm advocating for is not a perfect dude. Neither are you, but maybe you think you're perfect, or you have a higher standard to some of the perfection based off of what you've done in your life. Not realizing that you're actually going to be judged for not just what you do in your life, but also what you say and what you think and all that other stuff. So if you hold yourself to that higher standard, good for you. That's pretty cool. I just want to approach this with humility. But I want you to think about this, okay? This time tomorrow is going to be people are going to be casting their ballots. You're going to be watching TV. I expect that there's certain news channels going to be freaking off the chain tomorrow with a lot of viewers and stuff. Make sure that you don't. I'm not one to listen to polls really, because I've already seen what happens with that. And if things go the way that I'm thinking that they might go, there's going to be people out there who've been listening to these polls, listen to the mainstream media, and they're going to be really upset. And they have every right to be upset. I'm just being real with you. They have every right to be upset because they might have been lied to. And I don't want that for anybody. But if let's say it doesn't go the way that I would hope it does, what am I going to do? Am I going to cry? Am I going to be upset? Am I going to be pissed off? Or am I going to go to my work tomorrow or the next day and get down to business? You got to take it all in stride, because I don't have control over this stuff, and I don't want you to think that you have control over it either. You have the one vote. There's folks out there who are doing everything they can. I mean, there's countless cases right now of voter fraud, and it's just nuts. People trying to do all they can to hide stuff and to push their agenda. But whatever, man. I'm not in control of it. But I don't want you I don't want your world to come down, and I don't want you to be sad if you don't get what you want. And I want you to hold your feet under the ground and keep your head high, and keep your sanity. We've seen that a massive group of people have gone insane. But understand this though, okay? You are a regular person on that couch. You've watched things happen, and you are now being able to see the culmination of what all this stuff has been about, what COVID's been about, what these riots have been about. They've all been to foment anger, to foment rage and anxiety and depression and sadness, all that stuff, so people would get what they want. And you as a regular person on the couch, you don't have to play into it. I just don't want you to play into it. I didn't play into it. Freak that, man. But if you're that, understand that there's people on that TV that are looking for a certain outcome. If they don't get it, they're going to act up. So just be wise with, your surroundings, kind of keep yourself aware of what's going on around you, and know that there's a lot more going on in the story, because the American dream right now is facing some pretty big realities because of the things that we've let happen in our society. We've let it happen. That's our fault. So if you right now have not made cast your vote, please go do so. And I'm always going to support my president. I hope that you understand this, okay? In the end, I still love people. The people who came out were racist to me, I still love them. It's just disappointing. It is what it is. I got really bigoted about my faith. It is what it is. But understand this, though. I don't need to change. Neither do you. Be good to yourself. Be good to your friends. Because believe me, you don't have tomorrow promised. And tomorrow, you never know what's going to happen. I'm excited for it. It's the best time to be alive. Take care.